Not an overly productive week in the shop this week. I was not feeling very well on Sunday night into Monday and Tuesday, so I spent most of the week recovering and getting over that. Just had a little bit of a stomach virus, but my dad was in town for the Sunday and helped me put together the torque tubes for the aileron actuation. These are the torque tubes that go all the way down at the wing root and actually go through the wing spar to be able to connect to the two sealed cartridge bearings that are in those two flanges, I guess is what you can call them. So anyway, we put those together. I'd say that they went together relatively smoothly. Nothing terribly challenging except for the clocking. There's a slight offset from the forward torque tube to the aft torque tube, and you have to use basically a shim stack, more or less, is what we used to be able to make sure that that clocking is correct. We also used a flat piece of plywood, put a straight edge, excuse me, up against that to make sure that we had the flat piece of plywood and we weren't introducing any additional clocking because the plywood was warped in some fashion. So made sure that we had the dimensions correct. Everything went together pretty smoothly. Pardon me. I will say that the one lesson learned that I would say would be helpful for other builders, the hardware that goes into the fore and aft torque tubes, into that torque collar to make sure that they stay put and obviously don't back out, that hardware has to come out to be able to put it actually into the wing assembly. So don't bother torque those down. I think I torqued them down twice until I realized that they have to come apart. So don't torque them down. No sense in doing that until you actually get them inside the wings. So here, this part of the video, I realized that the fuel tanks need to go onto the wings to be able to actually install those torque tubes. So I started to work on getting these wings flat and get the fuel tanks installed. I also received some parts from Vans, the brass bushing for the aileron bell crank that's about midway down the wing. That brass bushing is a slightly larger diameter than it needs to be, so I ended up taking a piece of sandpaper and basically very, very carefully sanding it down in terms of the OD to make it actually fit inside that bell crank. So here I'm getting the wings flat so that I can actually fit the fuel tanks to the wings and then start messing with getting that um, torque tube installed. The left wing tank went on very smoothly. The right wing tank did not. You see me messing with that, so I'll have to tweak with that next week and get it installed for sure and continue with those torque tubes.